These fighters are saying Floyd hating, Floyd hating, Floyd hating. Last time I checked, hating on what? On what?
Meaning he is greater at his skill of boxing than Stephen Hawking was at science.
Okay.
Then
I can live with that, but I don't know if I would call him the greatest fighter of all time. First of all, Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this four-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion.
Floyd Mayweather did not stay silent after hearing recent comments from Stephen A. Smith, where he suggested that Terence Crawford ranks above him as a fighter, yet Smith also made it clear just how special Floyd truly was during his long run at the top. He explained that Mayweather spent much of his career dealing with serious hand issues which limited his natural punching power and made knockouts rare in the later years. Even with that disadvantage, Floyd stayed undefeated by relying on intelligence, timing, and elite defensive skills, consistently outthinking and outmaneuvering world-class opponents. Smith emphasized that this is what proved Floyd's greatness, because without power to lean on, he still found ways to dominate every challenge placed in front of him and control fights at the highest level through pure skill and mastery of the sport.
Mayweather was undefeated for the last half of his career with one hand. He constantly broke his hand.
Yeah.
He would go into a ring knowing he had no shot at knocking somebody out because his hands were hurt too much. And literally walked in the ring and said, I'm gonna embarrass you and humiliate you by showing the world you can't hit me.
In continuing his take, Stephen A. Smith also shared his view on a dream matchup between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford, and he did not hesitate at all in making his pick. Smith said he would choose Crawford without any second thoughts and made it clear he would not question that decision for a second. He explained that if such a fantasy fight ever took place, he fully believes Crawford would have the edge, and he left no doubt that in his mind Bud would be the fighter he favors in that scenario.
Avoiding everybody calling it a pick'em fight.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now, it could go either way, but I'm going to go with Crawford.
Building on that point, Stephen A. Smith made it clear that while Floyd Mayweather is without question one of the greatest fighters boxing has ever seen, with elite defense, blazing speed, and an incredible ring IQ, he still would not label him as the single greatest of all time. Smith explained that the greatest ever debate is much bigger than one man and has to include legends like Sugar Ray Leonard, Thomas Hearns, Marvin Hagler, Aaron Pryor, Alexis Arguello, and Salvador Sanchez, saying their greatness cannot be ignored. According to Smith, Mayweather deserves massive respect and a permanent place among the elites, but he is not the only fighter who belongs at the very top of boxing history.
he is greater at his skill of boxing than Stephen Hawking was at science.
Okay.
Then
I can live with that, but I don't know if I would call him the greatest fighter of all time. First of all, Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest ever. He's a brilliant defensive fighter. His speed, his boxing savvy, he's just a savant. But I gotta look at the Sugar Ray Leonards of the world. I watch Sugar Ray, I watch Pepino Cuevas, I watch Thomas the Hitman Hearns, Hagler, Mugabe, all of these cats, Aaron Pryor, Alexis Arguello, Salvador Sanchez before he died.
However, Stephen A. Smith made it clear that Terence Crawford stands as the current face of boxing and the fighter who defines the sport today. He described Crawford as the best fighter alive and the true pound-for-pound #1 of this era, a label he believes no one else can claim. Smith pointed to Crawford's historic run to undisputed champion status in the four-belt era as the ultimate proof, saying that achievement separated him from everyone else and already locked in his position at the very top of the boxing world.
Terence Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this four-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion.
That same sentiment was echoed by Boozy Ennis, who said that Terence Crawford deserves to be mentioned in the same breath as legends like Floyd Mayweather and Sugar Ray Leonard. According to Ennis, what separates Crawford from the rest is that he never ducked real challenges. He fought everyone who mattered in his divisions and beat them convincingly, and for him that willingness to face every threat and come out on top is exactly why Crawford already belongs in conversations reserved for the greatest names in boxing history.
Did that put him up there with the Floyds, the Ray
Put him
Leonards?
right there with them all. You know what I mean? They told me he can fight with everybody. Nobody. You know, Floyd, whoever was in front of him, who was in that weight at that time, and he beat everybody. He's great. Simple as that.
Tim Bradley strongly agreed with that assessment, openly saying that Crawford would defeat Mayweather if they had met in their primes. Bradley broke down the reasons, pointing out Crawford's wide range of tools, his ability to switch between orthodox and southpaw, and his deadly precision. He emphasized that Mayweather has always had trouble with sharp counterpunchers, referencing past fights where Floyd had to adjust against southpaws or quick hitters. Bradley argued that Crawford not only has the counter-punching ability, but also the versatility to keep Floyd guessing all night. In his view, the combination of Crawford's size, stance switching, and aggressiveness would simply overwhelm even a prime Mayweather.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather's a GOAT. Oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with
that belief was reinforced by Brian McIntyre, who made it clear that when fans talk about the greatest fighters in history, they mention legends like Ray Robinson and Jack Dempsey, and he insists that Terence Crawford belongs in that same conversation. McIntyre said Crawford has already done more than enough to earn his place among the all-time greats, not just as a dominant champion of this era, but as a fighter whose legacy is permanently written into boxing history.
Rank him? Should we rank him like that? Is it difficult because, eras?
No, I would say when you say name the best fighters ever in the history of boxing, you're going to have to say Ray Robinson. You're going to have to say Jack Dempsey. Then you got to say Terence Crawford. He's up there.
Paulie Malignaggi didn't hold back when comparing Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford, explaining that Floyd spent his prime years fighting proven champions and elite competition, pointing to names like Miguel Cotto and a young hungry Canelo Alvarez as examples. In Paulie's view, Crawford has not yet faced opponents of that same level, which makes a straight resume comparison unfair. But even with that said, he admitted that a prime Mayweather versus a prime Crawford would have been one of the greatest matchups boxing could ever offer, a fight worthy of being mentioned alongside legendary clashes involving Sugar Ray Leonard and Sugar Ray Robinson in the sport's history.
Mayweather, I thought, took on some pretty tough 154-pounders and it was in a young Canelo and a very tough Cotto who was punching very hard from 40 to 54. Remember Cotto had knocked out Delvin Rodriguez at 54. He'd still done some damage at 54, and I thought
won a title at 60.
Yeah, and I thought he knocked out Martinez at 60, and I thought he gave Mayweather a pretty good fight at 54. I don't know. I can't say I disagree or agree. I just think that Mayweather, because it's so far away, so long ago, and people sort of start to underestimate the things he did. People talk about Canelo takes his repertoire from the Mayweather repertoire. No, he doesn't. Mayweather fought ex-champions. This guy's fighting guys who will never even smell, may never smell a belt in their life, and he was fighting them. So Mayweather, even if you're saying, he didn't fight the very best, he still fought champions and ex-champions, even at 47, even at 54. So, I don't know, man. The comparison, listen, Crawford Mayweather would have been an amazing fight in their prime. Just like you insert Ray Leonard in there, just like you insert Ray Robinson in there. What a round robin that would have been. It's never going to happen.
Zab Judah also weighed in on the debate and said that when Canelo Alvarez claimed Terence Crawford was better than Floyd Mayweather, it was not an exaggeration at all. Judah explained that Canelo's opinion carries real weight because he is one of the few fighters who actually shared the ring with both men. He faced Floyd earlier in his career and later went through the challenge of fighting Crawford, which gives him a rare first-hand perspective. According to Judah, that experience gives Canelo a unique authority in this conversation, and his comparison should not be brushed aside because he understands better than most what each man brings to the ring.
Canelo said that Crawford's better than Mayweather. What do you think?
He's not lying. He fought him. He should know. How can somebody tell somebody that fought both of these guys, he knows. Yeah.
Ryan Clark gave major praise to Floyd Mayweather, calling him the defining fighter of his generation, and explaining that Floyd did not simply win fights but completely embarrassed opponents through flawless technique, elite reflexes, and unmatched mental toughness inside the ring. Clark said Mayweather represented total dominance during the 2000s, standing as the ultimate symbol of control, precision, and mastery in an era packed with champions, yet none who could dictate fights the way Floyd consistently did.
But is extremely skilled, right? Yet not as skilled as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather made people look foolish, right? And so if I had to say who's the greatest I've seen, and Bud said it right, the best of an era and the best of an era, it's Floyd. But when I watched Bud against Canelo, there was this extreme skill on display, and there was a level of crazy that's different. There was a level of, and Floyd's extremely tough. Go back to Shane Mosley and the 2 punches he landed early in the fight and the way that he embarrassed him. I'm not saying that Floyd's not tough, Floyd's not a bad man, but there was domination inside.
Ryan Clark offered high praise for Floyd Mayweather, describing him as the defining fighter of his era and emphasizing that Floyd didn't just win bouts. He humiliated opponents with perfect technique, lightning-fast reflexes, and unparalleled mental strength. Clark highlighted that throughout the 2000s, Mayweather embodied complete dominance, serving as the ultimate example of control skill and ring intelligence in a time filled with champions, yet none who could consistently dictate fights the way Floyd did.
And there's no fear in him in the way that he's attacked, gaining notoriety. Bud's been the baddest man for 12 years. But no one gave him credit because he didn't go tell you he was the baddest man. He didn't market that. He just went out and fought and beat people and knocked people out. So he had to move up and take the bigger fights and the better fights. And he was Errol Spence. We realized just how great he was. Canelo cemented him on what is the two-headed monster that marks the greatest of the 2000s. Floyd Mayweather is on that. And Bud Crawford is right next to him. I don't think we have to pick on who's better. I think they both dominated their...
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle and longtime trainer, offered a more measured perspective by reflecting on Floyd's iconic fight against a young Canelo Alvarez. Jeff acknowledged that while Floyd won decisively on the scorecards, the bout also showcased Canelo's early potential rather than total domination. He explained that Canelo was still very young and developing as a fighter, whereas Floyd was at the peak of his experience and ring intelligence. According to Jeff, the fight not only proved Floyd's exceptional skill, but also highlighted how timing can influence boxing outcomes, as Floyd capitalized on facing Canelo before he had fully matured into the star he would become.
Well, also if we remember, Canelo that time was a razor-thin decision. Floyd won, majority decision. C.J. Ross had it with what a lot of people had as a draw, and then the other two judges scored it for Floyd, of course. And that was a Floyd at the top of his game with a very green Canelo with very little experience, and he still took him, into deep waters. So
what was Canelo? What, 20 something? 23, 25?
Yeah, he was. Very, very.
Errol Spence Jr. shared his own perspective on what sets Floyd Mayweather apart in boxing history, highlighting Floyd's extraordinary ring IQ and legendary skill set. Spence explained that these qualities placed Mayweather on a level above nearly everyone else, giving him the ability to control every aspect of a fight both mentally and physically, which secured his spot among the all-time greats. He added that while fans can only speculate how a fight between Mayweather and Terence Crawford would have unfolded, Floyd's psychological sharpness and mental edge would likely have been the decisive factor.
It's a difference because, Floyd's just different. I feel like, he's the best fighter. I don't know about all time. He might be the best fighter all time. If not, he's close, 2-3, yeah. And not by far. So, it's just it's a little bit different things that Floyd does, and Floyd was a lot older when I sparred him, and it's just certain things that he does that, that's really tricky. Like the guy we get in the clinch, he was like squeezing my nose, and I couldn't breathe and stuff like that. So it's just certain things that he do in there. It's just veteran stuff, just veteran all-time type stuff he was doing there.
Like Floyd would beat Crawford, would you think? I know that's just a fantasy match.
Man, I don't know.
I'm reaching,
I don't get into all that. Yeah. I don't know who went out, Sugar Ray Robinson and Floyd. I don't know.
But for Floyd was the best work, just like mental games, everything.
Yeah, mentally, he by far, I feel like he's the best.
Robert Garcia offered his take by placing Terence Crawford within the broader context of boxing greatness, praising Crawford's achievement of becoming an undisputed world champion as historic and worthy of full recognition. However, when asked to imagine a prime-for-prime matchup, Garcia admitted he would lean toward Floyd Mayweather or even Manny Pacquiao, noting that he believes they had an edge in overall competition and toughness during their respective eras. Still, Garcia emphasized that Crawford unquestionably belongs in the conversation of all-time greats because of the legacy he has already built.
He never became undisputed. He's a 5-division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more. Do I, in a fight, I probably still pick Mayweather. Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win. Just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime?
Know,
Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%.
Shane Mosley drew a comparison between Terence Crawford and one of the few fighters who truly challenged Floyd Mayweather, Jose Luis Castillo. Mosley explained that Crawford's combination of power, long reach, stance-switching ability, and relentless pressure could have presented Floyd with similar challenges. While Mayweather's defense was legendary, Mosley said Crawford's non-stop aggression and versatility might have forced Floyd into a very difficult fight, making him one of the rare opponents capable of pushing Mayweather beyond his comfort zone.
The person that I see that I can kind of like equate to, and this I think Crawford would have the edge, is Castillo, when Castillo fought Mayweather the first time. And fights like that, Mayweather has problems with Crawford. Because Crawford hits hard, Crawford's very strong like I am. He has all the same long arms, like I said, southpaw right-handed, and he's coming to get you. He don't care about the Philly defense style, whatever style he don't care about that. He's trying to get you. And he's gonna make sure the combination is gonna be hit. So you have to either hurt Crawford and get some respect or something.
That's a wrap for today's video. What are your thoughts on this fantasy matchup between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford? We'd love to hear your take, so drop your opinions in the comments section below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more content like this.